Well, hey there, Chief Meteorologist Matt Loppin here, joining you from our room-to-room weather center. We are still monitoring, unfortunately, escalating power outage situation here across North Mississippi. We've had a crippling ice storm move through the region. We have potentially life-threatening cold air on the way for tonight. It is going to be a long recovery process going home over the next couple of weeks here, potentially. Unfortunately, it's probably going to take a while. And you can see by the colors sitting next to me here on the graphic that there are very large percentages of our friends and neighbors and, well, many folks, including ourselves, that potentially could be out of power. I have no power at the house. I'm on backup power at the moment. Unfortunately, that power is limited. But we are not alone regionally either, unfortunately. When we look at power outages across the region, Mississippi, percentage-wise, more than 1 out of every 10 Mississippians is without power at this point here, the majority of which are in the northern part of the state. And that takes us up to an updated total right now of 170,000 Mississippians without power. We know that this is a frustrating and trying time for a lot of folks, but power crews are working their best to get the power back on as soon as possible. Trying to get you the latest on the recovery efforts. I want to bring in Mississippi U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. Again, Senator, thank you so much for joining us here on Mississippi Live today. Obviously, as you can see, you're experiencing the cold weather as well. It's been a rough day for a lot of Mississippians.
It really has. This has been a severe storm, and it's not over. You know, we've just got to be smart, do the smart things, and look after each other, because it's going to be difficult for a few more days now. The livestock, this weather's very hard on livestock. We're out right now checking on ours, making sure they have hay. But the people without electricity, it's very cold in those homes. So we're going to have to check on each other. The president has signed the declaration for assistance, for federal assistance. So those who are having to spend money, county, state funds on getting through this ice storm and clearing roads, we're going to get reimbursed 75% with that declaration. So the president's on board with us, as it is in many states. But I just ask people to stay home if you can. Check on your neighbors, stay warm, make sure you ration your water supply if you have to do that, because this is not over. But we need to make good decisions, stay off the road, be extremely careful, and take care, hunker down, because that's what we're having to do at this moment.
Okay, Senator, I think one of the things that you know, I always put myself in the position of someone sitting on their couch at home going, well, why haven't things gotten better now? This is going to be a potentially a lengthy process, but there's been, as you mentioned, resources opened up from the federal government and planning that they know that this is going to be something, and we're bringing in folks from around the country to help out, right?
Absolutely. We've got linemen everywhere. Of course, it's so many states that are affected right now. It's not going to happen quickly. It's going to take a little time. I'm just asking people to be patient and know that they're working as hard as they can. Those in Mississippi that have been deployed, those in other states, you know, they have a plan. This isn't our first disaster. It won't be our last with inclement weather like this, that we have to get out. And the linemen have a tough job. But if you will just be patient, take care of yourself, take care of your family, look after the animals, get them inside, because it is going to be bitter cold, and it's going to be cold tonight. So we're going to get through this. We have federal assistance that's on the way. So the counties that are looking at the resources they're having to spend right now, there will be some reimbursement for this for those who qualify.
Okay, Senator Hyde-Smith, anything else you want to add?
That's it. You know, we're supposed to be in Washington. Our flights are canceled for tomorrow. So it's affecting the entire country when it comes to trying to get things done in Washington, D.C. But again, we're going to get through this with just good judgment, good decisions, and hunkering down and taking care of each other and being patient with these companies that are out there trying to get that power back on.
Absolutely. Our prayers for the folks out of power, and of course, prayer for the linemen from this area and around the country. They're going to have to come in and try to get that power restored. U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, thank you so much for joining us here on Mississippi Live. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So that's U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith again. As she mentioned, the folks on a national level, this is something that has been done before, and people are staged and ready to go. But as she also said a moment ago, this is going to take time in order for folks to be able to see full restoration and recovery, especially when we start getting to some of the outlying areas here. It's going to take a long time before that happens. You can see the power outages beside me here, but I think one of the big concerns that we do have going forward is going to be the issues with the cold, which will be extremely significant. We've ended one major issue, and that was, of course, all the frozen precipitation. Now here, as you'll notice, we're looking at temperatures that could be down into the single digits for tonight, and this is an issue that we could be close to single digits on multiple occasions going forward over the week. So we're going to have to try to obviously ration warmth within our homes, and ultimately try to make sure that as temperatures drop, that we're bundling up. I mean, there's some obvious things here, but that might mean, snuggling a little closer to our friends and family tonight, to just use that 98.6 degree heater of a friend or a family member there to try to keep us a little bit warmer as well. I know it's unpleasant, but linemen are working as fast as they can to get that power restored. It's going to be very dangerously cold tomorrow morning. Check on the elderly, check on your friends and family. Make sure your circle's in good shape with this, and we'll get through this. Teens out there, maybe low 20s, maybe some mid 20s out there, about as warm as temperatures are able to get for your Monday, and then we're right back down into the single digits with temperatures that could be approaching the 0 point up near the Tennessee state line. That is one thing, though, that has improved. We see less of those below zero temperatures on some of our latest model guidance coming in. We're hoping that's a trend that continues. I think that has to do with the kind of distance away from some of that snowfall, but certainly helping. And then we're back a little bit warmer by Tuesday, but it is not particularly warm by any stretch of the imagination. That's still fairly cold. So reverting to tonight, as you can see, by 10 p.m. tonight, we're talking about temperatures that, again, are going to probably be down at that point into the teens, maybe low teens out there. As we look at that 7-day forecast, again, tomorrow, it's going to be very cold in the morning. I don't think we're going to necessarily thaw a lot as we go toward the afternoon. Temperatures, again, dropping by tomorrow night, where we're going to be down single digits for early morning Tuesday. So this is very dangerous cold on the way for the next few days. We are doing our best to wear lots of layers to ensure that we're in good shape. We're doing our best to obviously, think and act accordingly for friends and family. But we also need to be, if we're at our own property here, understanding that there probably are going to be some pipe bursts because of this, because it's just so cold. One thing you could do is try to turn off the water out at the shut off the place. Typically, it's at the water meter there. You probably want to shut that off if your house, you think we're going to get down there below freezing. So we want to have pipes burst in the walls and just water. It's just going crazy. But ultimately, this is going to be kind of a rough go. And just I hope you'll understand. I think the senator was emphasizing that, talking to electric power cooperatives. This is going to take time. I don't have power at my house. The only reason I have this is I have an electric truck. I'm running extension cords all over the place. I might do a Facebook Live to kind of show you what that looks like here in a minute as well. But it's a kind of ragtag way to put it together. And I know Mississippians are great at doing that. I know you will be great at doing that. But be kind, be positive, and hopefully things will be straightened out fairly soon as far as this goes. Our next live broadcast is coming up here. That's going to be at I'm thinking it's probably going to be 6 p.m. tonight. We're still kind of working here behind the scenes to figure out exactly how that will end up timing out. So typical broadcast most nights 5, 6, and 10 p.m. and 6:37, 7:30 a.m. Our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will be on your screen again, getting you updated on everything. Try to conserve that battery power for the cell phone as much as possible. Just remember one last thing, that carbon monoxide poisoning, if you're burning something, using a generator, kerosene or propane, carbon monoxide poisoning looks similar to flu symptoms. If you have flu-like symptoms, but you're not running a fever and you're burning something, it might be carbon monoxide, and that could be a killer. So be looking out for one another. We'll talk to you coming up tonight at 6 p.m. Keep it here for the very latest.
I have been going to Tupelo Smiles my whole life. When I was a kid, I was unhappy about some uneven coloring on my teeth after getting my braces off, which at the time there really wasn't a fix. I was recently made aware of a solution that would totally fix it, which is exactly what we did. They not only heard my concerns, but they never stopped looking to solve my problem, and that's why I love Tupelo Smiles.